Hello, today we will be talking about my LED project that I have done. For starters, I built an LED display 6x5 that had a total of 30 LEDs that I wanted to control with an Arduino. My goal was to learn how to solder more effectively, learn more about how circuits work because I had no idea how they worked, and to learn how to use the Arduino a little bit. I really didn't know anything in these areas. So it was a learning experience to say the least. Alright, my objective. It was to have my LED functioning, which it doesn't because it doesn't work, sadly. I had both positive and negative leads getting energy, so that made me sad. And I wanted to be able to manipulate the LEDs so each row would flash. So kind of like the things at the carnivals or something. Just something in that area. And the end result, like I said earlier, it doesn't work, which it made me mad because it took like 2.5 hours to do, and I really wish it could have worked, but I mean, at least I learned something. Alright, hold on. This is not what I did. Oh, okay, this is another thing. Hold on, let me open up my whole other thing. I made a different PowerPoint accidentally. Sorry about this. Alright. This is what I need. Okay. Okay, so where are we? We are right here. Okay, so these guys. The Programming Electronics Academy, they're excellent. They have so many videos, and for absolute beginners just like me. So if you really want to do something like this, I would highly suggest going to Programming Electronics Academy. It's so well done, and the people really explain it very well. Like it says in the title, absolute beginners. So if you're interested, you should check these guys out. Like these two videos, I just had to check out other things because you're not going to find everything you need. Like you want to get more specific down to things. So I just found these two random videos that worked out for me. It's just like basic LED matrix, which is what I did with Arduino, and then digital inputs and outputs, which we'll talk about with the software. The Arduino software is completely free. You just get it on the Arduino website. It's got examples. It's really well done. It explains stuff. I mean, you're not going to learn all about the Arduino from those examples, but it just helps a little. Alright, so my plan, what I learned about planning a big project, you got to stay with it. You can't go behind. I mean, you can go ahead if you want. Going ahead is perfectly fine, but if you are behind, that is a no-go because you just get super ticked off that you're behind and that you have to do a lot and you have to cram a lot in a weekend. It's just best to just stay with the plan. I mean, you can occasionally get behind, like within the week, like I did. Like I was behind a few days, almost every week, but then I'd catch up towards the end or the weekend. But just try to keep it week by week. And I really didn't have to adjust my plan. It was decently thought out. My first week, I just wanted to construct my display. My second week, I just want to learn the Arduino. And third week, I want to learn the Arduino. My fourth week, I wanted to manipulate the lights, but I obviously couldn't because it doesn't work. So, yeah. But my first week did definitely work. My second and third weeks, Mrs. Nick and we kind of ran into a pickle because we couldn't really figure out where to put these resistors. If I would have had more of a background with this, I'm sure I could have done it, but I had no idea and I didn't want to gamble. But so we finally did, thanks to that guy that showed us on instructables.com. Okay, so this is how I built it. My first step, I just wanted to solder down the positive leads of the LED, or solder down the negative leads in the LEDs, and make sure that the negative leads are in the front facing, and make sure the positives are in the back. That's how the first step went down. My second step. Oh, okay. I bent all of the positive leads to the right, and then soldered them all together, and then left the last one alone because we'll wire it later. That was kind of tricky work because I just had to take a tweezer and just bend them over to the right. So after I soldered them all, I made sure I put the 5 diodes. You see these guys down here. You can't really see them, but they're connecting to the wire right here. But the 5 diodes, I just used 5 of them, and I connected each wire to the diode and connected each wire. Like as you can see, the furthest right one is going to the closest one. The second most right is going to the second one. Third, as you can see, it's just going. So that's how I wired it. It was okay work, I guess. That was probably my favorite part of building it, I would guess. I just kind of liked the wire. Alright, so my second layer, so since all of the negative leads are still standing up, I just put them through the second layer, and I just had another piece of perf board. My mom helped me with that because she does braces and stuff, so she could really put them all through the holes. So that was what I did there, and I bent them all. And then, within this step, I just soldered the 5 Arduino pins to the diodes on the other side of them. That's not connected to the wire. My fourth, I soldered all of the negative lead columns, just kind of like the positive ones, only that it was going down. That was okay, I guess. It wasn't that bad. Then there was resistors. This was the tricky part, like I said. So the furthest left resistor, it's connecting to the furthest left column, and then the second most going to the second column, and so on. That I had my sister help me just hold them so I could solder them together. Okay, so the demonstration. Alrighty, so this is the Arduino stuff. Thank you to Josh for helping me with this. He knows the stuff. So this, for example, we'll just start with the blink. So the pin mode 13 output, this is saying pin 13, the energy is coming out of pin 13 is running through the pin to wherever that pin is going. So like over here, for example. So pin 12, the wire in pin 12 is going to connect to whichever row it's connected to, and that will send energy to whatever row that is. And then like right here, the 12 high, that is saying that let the energy run through. So in pin 12, the energy will run through, and so all of these. So then the delay, this command will wait 5 seconds. So right here, it will happen 5 seconds later. So it will be on for 5 seconds, and it will be off for 5 seconds. And then see the loop, this will go on forever until you make it stop. So that's pretty much how the Arduino works. Which one is it? Is this one? Yeah. Okay. Alright. So I learned all about soldering. I had no background with it really, except for the Blinky robot we did in Mr. Holz's class. It takes a long time. It doesn't drip where you want it to for a lot of the time that you want it to drip where you want. And you just pretty much get better with practice, like all things. So I got decently good towards the end. I learned how the Arduino works. It was like Korean to me, so I really had no idea how it worked, and then I kind of figured it out with tutorials and Josh's help and stuff. And I learned better problem solving skills. So with a big part at the beginning of this project, I did not know where to look. I did not know what things to type. I had no idea. So I had to just really dig and use the Boolean search terms, and that really narrowed down, like, so I could figure out what would get me where. Like, if I would put quotes in LED matrix and Arduino or in the Arduino in parentheses or in quotes, that would just find things that would say LED matrix and Arduino, and then it'd show me all the results. But you got to find the right one, and you got to find people that did somewhat the same stuff as you. If I could redo the project, problem solving was definitely a factor. If I knew what I knew from the beginning, I didn't really have to problem solve. Like, if I didn't hit any brick walls because I knew everything, it would have gone by way faster. Like I said earlier, if I would have known what I was looking for, I could have just gotten probably like a week and a half earlier than I did. And my biggest successful moment was definitely just building the thing, because I mean that was pretty much the only thing that did succeed. So it was I don't want to say like bad to build, but it wasn't that fun to build. So I was glad to just get it done. And that was my project. Thank you for watching.